Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Vacation Rewatch, where we watch TV shows while we're on vacation. I'm Justin.
I'm Pablo.
And today we're continuing Arrow Season 1 Vacation Rewatch. Today's episodes are episode 10, 11, and 12. Pablo, kick it off. What was episode 10 about?
So episode 10, we have this guy killing firefighters, and we have Oliver trying to recover from his last fight against the Dark Archer, which he got rocked in.
Oh, hell yeah, he did.
It's been 6 weeks. Walter is still missing, and we have some flashbacks that further along the story. That's pretty much it. What happened?
That's pretty much it.
What'd you think of this episode, Justin?
I thought it was okay. Yeah, I really liked the stuff that Oliver's going through with him, like his moral compass. Like, man, I just got my ass whooped. Like, should I be being Arrow if I can't beat this one dude? And I like the whole little conversation that Diggle has with him, like to kind of motivate him to get him back out there. What'd you think of that?
I agree with you in there. I really like the conversation that those two characters had.
Yeah.
What'd you think about the guy taking out the firefighters?
I thought it was interesting. It kind of was like a monster of the week kind of thing that we've gotten like on Smallville before and like on Flash season 1. Are you okay with the monster of the week?
I went a little further.
Of the week?
I went a little further back into the DC lore, and I thought this was Firefly.
That would have been awesome.
Why
did they do that? Pablo needs a job at DC.
I'm pretty sure they did, didn't they?
They never said that. I don't. Wait, do you even know Firefly's actual name? I don't.
I'm pretty sure if we look it up, it is gonna be Firefly.
The guy who died. Spoilers: the guy who died in season 1, episode 10 of Arrow. That would have been cool, though. I mean, you're right. He has the Firefly tattoo.
He's burned over 90% of his body.
Other things that I liked in this one. Oh yeah, I liked that. Thea giving the mom a pep talk, like, man up, get out of bed. Like, this is you're like, be my mother. Don't just be in bed all day. That was pretty cool. I like that.
Okay, and I think to pretty much to wrap this up, I really liked how we have Oliver choosing to go back into action. He finally puts on the hood back on, and we see him be like, all right, I'm ready to get back out there and finish what I started or continue what I'm doing.
Yes, he did.
And towards the end, we see Oliver going undercover in the flashback. We see him try to infiltrate whatever's happening to try to go back and rescue his friend.
The guy who helped save him, yep. Another thing I really liked was the whole Arrow-Laurel relationship. Like, they're working together, kind of. She doesn't know he's Arrow, or she doesn't know Oliver's Arrow. But, yeah, I liked that she's working with him. Because they are really moral compass people, like good moral compass, good guys. And Laurel, you seeing that she's, like, willing to go a little outside of the law to get justice.
I also liked how Oliver showed up to the fire station.
Yeah,
and it was pretty much like, all right, he knew kind of what she was going to do.
Yeah.
As the Arrow, he told her, this is what I would do. And it was kind of being there for moral support, but also kind of pushing it to help out. Because he did press for harder questions, and they did get answered.
Yeah, Oliver did better questioning of the fire captain than she did. Moving on to episode 11, though.
Tell us about it.
So episode 11 was there are these bank armored trucks, the ones that move money around for banks, getting attacked by like these military guys. You can tell by the way that they're taking down the trucks. And Oliver thinks it's considered to be one of those people on the list that's affiliated with it. And Diggle says, nope, it's one of his army buddies that's on the list. And he vouches for him. So there's a lot of rift between Oliver and Diggle because of it. Pablo, what do you think of this episode?
I didn't really like this episode.
Really?
Just because...
Do tell.
I felt, I don't know, something about Diggle bringing up, oh, don't you trust me? And
well, it is early in the relationship, don't
it
forget.
It is early, but it's also, when has this list been wrong, you know? Like, for him to say, you barely found out that this might not even be from your father. Why do you trust this over anyone? Well, Diggle might not know everything that's happening on with Oliver. Of course, we know because of all the flashbacks that have finished and everything. And we know that pretty much this list is pretty much the truth.
Pretty much.
So to me, it just seemed, I don't know, it seemed like either Diggle needed a little more trust, or just because it was an old friend, it doesn't mean that they're the right person or they're a good person.
Well, I think it has to do with what Oliver's been through. He can see that there are good people who've gone bad. And I think this was kind of like Diggle's eye-opening to, wow, like, I gotta start trusting him more. Because like I said, it's early on, so I'm okay with it. But yeah, I like that it brought tension between them very early on.
Yeah, I guess. It wasn't my favorite.
It's not the greatest episode ever.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, though. And it is not that much of Arrow, too. He's not in it that often.
Yeah,
more Oliver.
One thing I did like, though, was when Oliver needed help cracking one of their USB drives, he goes to Felicity, and I thought the banter between the both of them was really good.
It is really good. It's sad that's gonna be gone soon.
Well, I mean, they just added and piled on top of it, but
They just piled love on top of it.
the little dosages here and there, like honestly, I'm kind of missing her. There was last episode. I don't think she was around that much.
No, she wasn't.
But they're fun interactions.
Yeah, her
at this point.
Yeah, and it's like it's getting to the point where she's like, "Am I really gonna start trusting that this is like a friend's scavenger hunt that he's trying to make you do? This is military grade security on it. Stuff like that's funny."
Yeah,
I agree.
And then another thing I liked was during one of the fight scenes, you have Arrow using a trash can as a shield, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Like Cap, the first one.
I mean, not much. I'm telling you, I didn't really enjoy this episode, but there were some small moments throughout.
Mm-hmm.
But what about you? What are some stuff that you enjoyed?
Like I said, that relationship. I also like the whole thing of, well, I guess it was kind of like a little side story of Thea trying to figure out what's going on between her mom and Malcolm. She thinks they're hooking up.
Mm-hmm.
Little does she know that they actually did, and that's why she's there. So, which you don't know until at least 2 more years, right?
Sure.
Well, it is like season 3 when she finds out. Yeah,
No,
the mom's lying.
I think she finds out next
What the hell?
season.
The mom's all lying. I'd never cheat on your husband. That's all BS. We know that.
I think Slade tells her.
Probably.
Next
So she sees them at her party, and it's her 18th birthday party. Her mom bought her a car. She takes some Vertigo that her friends gave her, and boom, car crash, and that's how the episode ends.
Yep, yeah.
So just episode 12. Pablo. Recap. 12.
Picking up right off where we left, right after the crash,
Nice.
Thea is
Real nice.
released from the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
However, she is arrested because of the vertigo in her system, and we have this judge who wants to make an example out of her,
Mhm.
and to the whole city saying that no one in this city is going to use vertigo. So we have Oliver trying to track down who this guy is, this mysterious count. And towards the end of the episode, we have Felicity sharing some news about Walter's disappearance with Oliver.
Yes.
So what are some stuff you liked about this episode?
I liked the whole thing of Diggle being brought into Oliver's Russian world. He's like, what the hell? And he's like, just go along with what I do. Like, you could tell, like, he's like, whoa, what is this stuff that he's into? Like, that's like a side of Oliver that he doesn't ever want to see again, I'm assuming. That's really dark stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting to see. Other than that, I just like that they're bringing more people out. I mean, Vertigo was pretty much, or the Count was pretty much like, what's his name? Scarecrow to me. I felt like he was a little over the top, but I liked him. What'd you think of him?
I thought he was okay. It honestly seemed like a real DC villain, if that makes sense. It seemed like
Over the topness.
over the top, out of a comic book.
Yeah, I
it
can
kind
see
of didn't
that.
really fit because this show is more serious, and they
Yeah.
kind of went over the top with this. But it wasn't a bad episode. I thought it was a lot better than the last one.
Yeah, I like that we get to see Oliver as Oliver doing the stuff instead of the Arrow. Like, there are some things, like, because even Batman realizes in the comics that there are some things that Bruce Wayne can do that Batman can't. And it's just about finding that balance of what should he do as which character.
Exactly.
And Oliver's soon going to figure that out. Like, this one is a great example of that.
One thing I really enjoyed was
Go for it.
Oliver running into his old friends.
Tommy and them? Or
Not Tommy,
the cop lady?
Yeah, we don't see that at all, I think, now.
Besides Tommy. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, he's been back for 5 years
He's
now.
been
Yeah,
back for 5
I
years.
guess.
Who does he run into? No one really.
Well, Tommy's dead. Laurel's dead. Spoilers.
It's their small circle that, I mean...
Everyone he knows that's on the island's pretty much probably dead.
That's not the point. He had a life before going on the island. Maybe little appearances like, hey, I was
Hey,
this
random
person.
hookups with random chicks are friends. The more you know.
Well, I mean, he talked to her for a while. They were obviously good friends.
I
But
guess.
that's what I guess would want to see. I don't know if it would make sense now, but that's something I enjoyed.
All right. Another thing I liked in this episode was the whole thing of Oliver going to Laurel. Like, we see them, the Queen family, keep going to Laurel for legal advice. What'd you think of that?
I really enjoyed. It brings out more daytime attire, I would say.
Pablo loves his daytime.
It's a good mix, other than just seeing him or seeing everyone in their costumes the whole time. They
Yeah,
tried
yes.
doing it now in the 5th season, but I felt like it was done a lot better this first season. Like, it was taken more care of, if that makes sense.
I guess.
It was a good balance between both.
Yeah, it's a better balance now than it is on the current show, season 5, just ended.
But I mean, it makes sense. That's her job. They
like her. They trust her.
Yeah, they know that she can. That whatever they confide in her, it'll be safe, and she has pull with other people that they might not.
That is true.
Have.
The dad does help.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
And then another thing I really liked about this episode was a knockout trick.
Oh, yeah.
They used it. Diggle thinks Oliver killed someone. Turns out it was just a trick. He's alive. we learned in a flashback that it was taught to Oliver.
And we see that Oliver's still alive on Lianyu. What a surprise. And that the dude saved him. I'm kind of getting worried about I don't remember what this dude's all about. Because there is a dude like him in the comics when Oliver's on the island, isn't there? Or no?
I don't know Arrow comics.
Oh, damn. I don't know. I think he is left alone. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Let's do that. Vacation reread. We read old Arrow comic books. God, it's going to be so hard to do.
And the last thing about this episode, we have Felicity sharing news about Walter. He found a second book. She said it belongs to Moira.
Yeah, so now Oliver knows that the mom's in on everything too.
And
crazy twist of events.
Felicity believes this is the reason that Walter may have lost his life. But
do we know he's dead yet, though? We don't.
It has been made clear the last episode that
he's probably dead.
Malcolm has him safe.
Yeah. Yes, he does. Yeah, because he even blackmails Moira.
Yeah, I don't know where you were going with it.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Yeah, he's dead.
I was implying that they all pretty much think he's dead.
Well, yeah, he might not be dead.
Come on, Pablo, live in the moment.
Malcolm has him.
Live in the moment of 40 minutes into that episode before we got to that reveal that Malcolm has him.
But that was pretty much this episode of Vacation Rewatch.
Yep, we recapped episode 10, 11, and 12. What do you think of this batch?
They were okay.
Yeah, still a lot better than some things we've seen on Arrow.
Yeah, later seasons.
Season 4, we're looking at you.
They were okay. I wouldn't say they were the best 3 episodes.
Nope,
they were fun.
Agree.
But I mean, doing this show, we kind of limited ourselves, I would say, to watching 3 a week, just so we could keep fresh in our minds. And I actually, after seeing a few episodes, I want to see more. Like this last episode, it made me want to see the next one, but I kind of had to hold off because of this.
Yeah, suck it, Pablo. Hashtag suck it, Pablo.
But what about you guys? What was your favorite episode of this batch? Let us know in the comments down below.
Yes, definitely do that. Don't forget to like, share us with your friends, subscribe. You'll get a little bell on your phone that says, bam, Screen of Files is rewatching Arrow for some reason. Right, Pablo?
Of course. And also, you can follow us over at Instagram
at Screen of Files, where we haven't posted anything in a while. Right, Pablo?
Of course.
Why would we?
There's nothing going on.